Hey everyone, it's Anna, and today I am very excited because I am doing a book haul specifically for the upcoming Latinx book bingo and also the Latinx-a-thon. I'm just reading everything and anything that is own voices and has Latinx representation, and I'm very excited for it. I am Mexican American. I am just very excited to indulge in more things that are representative of my heritage and my culture. I'm excited to find more Latinx authors that I can be on the lookout for in the future, and I'm just very excited for it in general. So without further ado, I have 4 books physically to show you, and then I also have an audiobook and a few ebooks that I got. I didn't notice until I actually got the package, but actually almost all of these are from the same author. That author is Anna Marie McLemore, and I'm very excited for it. The first book I have is When the Moon Was Ours, and I've heard nothing but good things. I just went on YouTube and I just looked at every single TBR for this readathon and every recommendation video for this readathon, and this one came up and it definitely caught my attention. We follow a girl hiding the truth, a boy with a secret of his own, and 4 sisters who could ruin them both. We follow Miel and Sam. Rumor has it that Miel was born out of a water tower and roses grow from her wrists. Little is known about Sam's life. All people know is that he recently moved into a town with his mother, but as odd as they are perceived as, everyone knows to stay away from the Bonner sisters, 4 sisters who are rumored to be witches, and these alleged witches want the roses that are growing from Miel's wrists. They are fully convinced that these roses growing from Miel's wrists could make anyone fall in love with anyone, and they're willing to take full advantage of any secret of Miel's in order to get the roses. It just sounds very dark and creepy, and I'm here for it. I think this will be great, especially around like October as the readathons are wrapping up. I think this will be really interesting. I'm very excited to check it out. The next book I have is The Weight of Feathers, which I've heard about for a long time, and the only thing I know about it is that everyone's comparing it to the Night Circus, so the cover is so beautiful. In this book we follow 2 families. They have been rivals for 20 years and they despise each other. Both of their families are actually performers in traveling shows, and their shows are competing against each other constantly. Palomas are mermaids swimming in exhibitions, and you'll find the Corbos as tightrope walkers. Lacey Paloma knows about the Corbos, and she's been told all of her life to stay away from them, and simply touching one of them could mean certain death. But then disaster strikes in a small town where both families are performing, and the son of the other family, Cluck, saves Lace, and with a single touch, she is immediately sucked into his world, and falling for each other could be just as dangerous as the stunts that their families perform. So I am very excited for it. The added family dynamic makes things very interesting. So this might end up being the first one to pick up because I am very curious. The next one is actually one that I read already. I read it on audiobook, and you'll see my full-ish thoughts on it soon in my June wrap-up, which I still need to edit because I'm lazy, but I cannot help picking up a physical copy because I just loved it so much, and it's just a really pretty cover, so I could not help myself. I really wanted it, and that is Don't Date Rosa Santos by Nina Moreno. I loved this book so much. It's definitely on my favorites list for 2019. It is so much fun. I loved the small town that it's set in, and it just sounds like the perfect summer getaway. And I love the family dynamic so much. It's so nuanced. It's so real and authentic and just so heartbreaking and heartwarming at the same time, and you will fall in love with it if you haven't read this already. So in this book we follow a high school senior named Rosa who is trying to figure out what to do with her life, and just her whole process of trying to follow what she wants for herself while also staying true to her family and wanting to stay close to home. I could relate to so much. All that stuff that I was going through she was going through. I think like I would have gotten a lot out of it as a senior, but even now I loved it so much. Rosa Santos and her family are cursed by the sea. Every man that comes into their lives perishes while at sea. Rosa is fully convinced that she has bad luck when it comes to the sea, so things are difficult when she ends up falling in love with a boy with a boat. Rosa also feels caught between her Cuban culture and following her dream of actually going to Cuba and studying there at university, and she's not sure if she wants to stay with her family. Her family wants her to stay at home, stay in Florida, but she wants to see the world and see what's out there and see where her family is from. This was such an amazing read. It was a lot of fun, very easy to get through. I love the audiobook, but I'm happy to have a physical copy. The next book I picked up was Citizen Illegal by Jose Olivares. He's a Mexican-American poet and the son of immigrants, and I just flipped through it briefly and I'm really interested. And I've never read any poetry from a Latinx poet before, so that will be really interesting and I cannot wait to check it out. Next I picked up Juliet Takes a Breath by Gabby Rivera. I have the ebook of that. And in this book we follow a Puerto Rican teenager who takes on an internship in Portland and gains a new perspective on feminism from that opportunity. Picking it up. Can't wait to read it. To round it all out, I wanted to include an audiobook, so I picked up Gods of Jade and Shadow by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, and all I know about it is from a review video from Perpetual Pages. They talk about 5 reasons why you should read it, and I watched that video and I got so excited about it. It's like Percy Jackson times 10, featuring a Mayan god, and the main character has something that the god wants. This god is basically useless and needs the main character to support them and to help them, and that sounded so interesting. I just listened to the sample narration and it just sounds nice and I'm interested. I get through audiobooks really quickly, so I think I'm gonna pick that one up either first or after I read Citizen Illegal. So the book I got was The Grief Keeper by Alexandra Villasante. This is the group book for both readathons and I'm really excited for it. In this book we follow 2 sisters from El Salvador who are seeking asylum in the United States. They soon find themselves at risk of being sent back to El Salvador when the older sister Marisol is approached with an opportunity that would allow her and her sister to stay in the United States. She is asked to become a grief keeper. She is offered this opportunity in which she would be taking the grief of people who have lost someone and bringing that grief onto herself, and there's a female-female romance as well, and it just sounds really interesting and I'm really excited to read it, and it's definitely something that seems like it has a lot of very heavy subject matter, but I'm really interested in reading it and seeing everyone else's thoughts on it. And then lastly, I have Blanca Aroha by Anna Marie McLemore once again. This is a sort of ugly duckling retelling. We follow this family who are somehow bound to this family or community of swans. These sisters are going to be pitted against each other. One day the sisters know that they will be forced into this game of sorts. Either Blanca or Roja are going to end up in the body of a swan and the other one gets to keep their human form. It sounds interesting. I haven't read a retelling in a while, so we'll see how it goes. We got one more. I was gonna do this in one take, but I only had one opportunity to do it in potentially one take, and then I realized I didn't have all my books, so this one is on its own. I'm really excited to have this. I read this last year and I really enjoyed it, and I have been wanting my own copy ever since, and now I finally have it, and that is The Podex by Elizabeth Acevedo. In this book we follow a Dominican-American teenager named Xiomara, and she is a poet, and she uses her writing as a way to express herself, as an outlet for her emotions as she is trying to navigate her sexuality and her identity and embrace those parts of herself. She butts heads a lot with her mother, who is a very devout Catholic, and she is trying to find ways to express herself, explore relationships, and learn more about herself, while also dealing with these expectations that her mother has for her. There's this boy at school that she is developing a relationship with. There's some conflict there as she is trying to hide that from her mother. She's invited to her school's poetry club, and she's not sure what she wants to do with that and how to move forward with her writing. It's a beautiful coming-of-age story, and it's told in verse, which I absolutely loved. The writing is phenomenal, and I absolutely loved it, and I definitely want to reread it soon. So that is it for this video. I'm so excited for this readathon. It kicks off on September 15th. And it continues on until October 15th. If you need recommendation videos, I'll link down below all the videos that I watched to get inspiration for my haul and my TBR. You can follow me on my social media, keep up with my reading progress through this month and through October. All that's down below, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye.